I went into a moment of panic. Just a second. Just a second of panic. Always that moment when you push live where you're just like, is everything going to work? Like holding. I'm like, Anyway, good morning, everybody. Happy Thursday. This is our second to last training of this series. Tomorrow will be the last one of this 3-week series that I've done. And I invite you to join me tomorrow as well. Because I have a bonus for you guys. I have a surprise for you. I have some little things for you tomorrow. So, but let's talk about today. Let me start by introducing myself. Let me put the slide up there. Y'all, I am Bree Beers. I have been in accounting for 20-ish years. I say ish because I really don't remember like when exactly I started. I'm aging myself, but it's fine. I own Bree Beers and Associates. We are in our 7th year in business. And Bree Beers and Associates is a tax preparation and planning firm. We specialize in small business and complex individual returns. I'm also the founder of Peak Prosperity CFO. We empower owners of 7-figure businesses to boost their annual income by $100,000 in their first year working with us by providing profit-centered thought leadership. In really simple terms, we work with 7-figure business owners who are feeling stuck, who are wanting more work-life balance and more money in their personal bank account coming from their business. So there is a link if you're interested more in working with us to get more information. But what I want to talk about today, you guys, is one of my clients. First of all, I love sharing client stories. I'm really excited to share another one. And we're going to talk about Kathy. And we're going to talk about how Kathy gave herself a raise and took an extra month off this year and talk about how she did that. So let's see. Okay. So Kathy. We'll get into Kathy for a minute in just a second, but I want to start. If you've been with me at all over the last 3 weeks, you know how I talk about revenue versus profit, right? And how everything seems to be better. We tend to measure our business success on revenue size, right? 6-figure business, 7-figure business. But if we shift our focus over to profit over revenue, we'll see a lot more traction in growing and scaling our business. If you focus on profit, revenue will come. I promise you. So anyway, I just want to remind you that because we are going to talk about profit in here in a second. So often business owners think that their revenue is the answer to their problems, right? More revenue is going to solve whatever issues I have. And when Kathy started working with me, she had built this 7-figure business and it was profitable. She was turning a profit and she was paying herself. She was an S Corp. So she was paying herself an $85,000 a year reasonable compensation. Decent, right? There's my dogs. Travis has done a really good job of keeping them under control this 3 weeks. He's leaving. We'll see. We'll see how they do. So she was paying herself $85,000 a year salary based on a reasonable comp analysis for an S Corp, but she wanted to take more out of her business. She wanted to be pulling more money out. She just didn't feel comfortable doing it. So what she did is the next year she set a higher revenue goal, but guess what? Her business didn't have to make more for her to take more. All right. Sometimes it does, but in her instance, she didn't. So let's talk about that. Like how, right? How can I not make more, but I can still take more money? So why not? So let's talk about draws, distribution. So as a business owner, whether if you're in the $1 million range, right? You're an S Corp, you're a partnership, you might be a C Corp, you might be a Schedule C sole proprietor. Typically, as you grow from, into that 6-figure-ish range, you tend to want to make that S Corp election, whether you did or not judging. But she was an S Corp. And as an S Corp owner, you are allowed to take draws and distributions in addition to the salary, all right? You do not have to pay yourself a higher salary or do more in your business in order to take more out of your business if it's there, all right? Draws do not require that you put more time or effort into the business, all right? It is not, whereas your salary is an exchange of money for time, right? Whatever duties you're doing in the business, you're performing, your business is paying you a salary, right? You're essentially an employee in that aspect. If you're taking out draws or distributions, that is what we consider like a return on investment. I'll talk about that in a second, but that's what it is. It's an ROI. It's the return on your investment of starting your business, right? You put in the equity, the blood, the sweat, the tears, all the, that initial investment, and those draws are your way of taking out what's due to you, a return on investment in investing in starting your business. All right. Let's see. Oh, draws, well, they don't require you to put more time and effort in, right? They do require that you monitor and manage your cash flow, right? You can't just be like, I want to take more money. We'll do it, right? Because you have to have a certain amount of cash in your business to keep things going, right? So let's see. Sorry, my slides don't quite light up with my notes. So that's why I'm kind of like, wait, where am I? So what we want to do, here we go. How was Kathy able to take more money from her business without generating more revenue? Right. So let's talk about that. So what we did is she came in as a CFO client, and part of what we do is cash flow forecasting, right? I said above, here, I'm changing him. How was Kathy able to make more money? So let's talk about how she did it. All right, there we go. There we go. We're all in alignment now. So part of what we do is cash flow forecasting, right? I said that draws require you to monitor and manage your cash flow. So you have to make sure there's enough cash in the business, for future things. This is especially important if you're seasonal, right? Tax business right here. I know what seasonal work looks like, right? You make a ton of your money in one season, and then you kind of have these slow seasons. You got to make sure you have cash to get you through those slow portions, right? So you want to monitor cash flow. We helped her do that. So what we did, by monitoring cash flow, we are able to advise clients like Kathy on how much they can take out in distributions each month while building and maintaining that business emergency fund. So she was able this year to take out almost $100,000. All right. And we set our business up for 2024 to take out an additional $5,000 a month so that she can fund her personal goals and dreams. All right. So, and we've done this and we've looked at her cash flow. We know she has the cash to do it. We know the business has the profit to maintain this extra $5,000 a month. And so the other piece that we did for her, that $5,000 a month was not arbitrary, right? It wasn't just like, yeah, 5,000 sounds good. What we do at Peak Prosperity is we set the business goals based on your personal goals. All right. So, and then we calculate that desired draw amount. So we will look at your personal budget, your personal goals, your personal dreams, and we'll say, okay, this is how much money you need to be taking home a month to make this happen. Right. And then we say, okay, well, this you're taking home in salary. So here's the difference. Here's what you need to be taking home in a draw distribution in order to fund those personal goals, dreams, and all the things. Right. And so we build backwards into the business to set those goals based on what you want personally. So with Kathy, she wanted to invest in her retirement. She wanted to build a lake house. So we worked backwards from those goals and we determined how much her business needed to pay her each year to fund those goals. And then, of course, all of her regular budget items, right? The cost of living. So in this year, you guys, it was really cool in that just in the process of doing the CFO stuff this year, and we have different steps we automatically take when we work with our clients of delegating tasks, of deleting tasks, creating SOPs, all the things. So all these steps that just kind of happen in our CFO process as we're just trying to, hit that ultimate goal of taking more money out of the business. Kathy was also able to take off over a month extra compared to last year. All right, because we streamlined processes, because we delegated duties. We also got rid of a lot of the tasks that she was doing that we decided didn't even need to be done. Right. So she was able, we just had a meeting on last week, I think, and she has already taken off a month more than she did last year at this time. So that's exciting, right? She paid herself $100,000 more this year already. We have a whole quarter left, right? And she's taken a month more time off than last year. All right. And all of these were possible because of her CFO partnership with us. All right. We were able, like I said, to talk, help her figure out how to navigate all these different things. Let's see. What did I say here? So one thing I do want to talk about. So cash flow forecasting, I talked about setting profits based on personal goals. So how we set profit goals for your business. So a lot of CFOs will look at market trends, look at the economy, which we do, look at your business. We take all those factors into account. Plus, again, your personal goals, and we boop, boop, beep, boop, as my team calls it, work the magic, right? And so we set these business profit goals, but that profit is a combination of three things. It's a combination of taxes. We want to make sure that the money you get to take home is after tax. So we account for how much tax you're going to have to make on your profit for the business. We account for any debts you have to pay in your business, right? So if you guys know that P&L, your profit and loss, doesn't show your debt payments. It includes your interest on debt, but it doesn't include your debt repayments to loans, to credit cards, anything like that. And so you pay tax on your profit, right? So let's say you have a profit of $100,000 on your P&L. You're going to pay tax on that. All right. So let's just say 40% for state and local because you're a baller. All right. Not at 100,000, but let's just, for the sake of ease, so that's 40 grand you're gonna have to pay in taxes. Again, don't panic, just easy math. That leaves you with 60 grand, right, in cash. But then let's say you had $50,000 worth of debts you had to repay, mortgages, car payments, machinery, whatever it is. So that leaves you with $10,000 at the end of the year. Now, if your personal financial goals align with that 10 grand, great, super duper. Chances are it doesn't. Chances are we're wanting to take more money out of our business than 10 grand a year. So we got to figure out how to cushion that number, that profit number. How do we increase that with all the numbers above it, right? Revenue is one of them. Decreasing cost of goods is another. Cutting expenses is another. So there's different levers we can pull to make that profit number at the end of the day go up. All right. But we have to start with, what do we want that number to be? And so many CFOs and so many business owners who don't have CFOs just pick an arbitrary number. Like we want to increase, we want to make 10% more this year than last year, right? Well, that's great, and sometimes that's good, but you want to make 10% more. Is that revenue or profit? And if it's revenue, 10%, does that even cover the increased cost of all of your expenses for the year? Or did inflation go up 12%? And even though you're making 10% more revenue, you're actually going to make less profit because your costs to run the business are going up, right? Maybe your goal was to increase profits by 10%, step in the right direction, but same thing, like your personal expenses have increased by 10%. So that will pay this year's personal goals. But what if next year you want to travel more? What if next year you have a kid starting college that you need to pay for? What if next year you have a house that you want to go buy, right? You're going to have to increase that take home, which means you're going to have to increase that profit by a higher percentage than 10%. What percent? That's what we help you do. We help you calculate what you have to increase your business profit revenue goals by and how to do it. So let's see. I think I just summarized without changing to the summary. This was a short day. Sorry, guys. It was just as long as all my other ones, but it's fine. You got the point of it. So let's talk about those key factors. What did we talk about today? So first, like I've been hammering home for the last 3 weeks, focus on profit before revenue. I'm not saying don't focus on revenue. Revenue is also important, but if you focus on your profits and increasing your profits, first, oftentimes your revenue will increase as well. But if it doesn't, why does it matter? If you're taking home more money, why does it matter if your revenue is going up or not? It doesn't. Profit is the number one KPI, key performance indicator you want to focus on. Remember that as a business owner, you are entitled to draws and distributions from your business, meaning taking out money from your business without exchanging your time for that money. As corporations, as C corps, you do have to take a salary for that's equivalent to what you're doing for the business. That's fair, right? It's called a reasonable compensation. You got to do that. But if you want to take out more than what the reasonable compensation calculates, you're allowed to do that without spending more time working in your business. And that, I think, is that's kind of one thing that we hinder on, right? We're like, oh, we're going to take more money. We got to do more for the business. No, keep doing and if you've watched any of my other trainings in the past 3 weeks, you know that my goal to get you from where you are feeling stuck, overworked, and underpaid to being a true CEO of your 7-figure business is getting rid of tasks. Getting rid of tasks. CEOs do 2 things for their business, guys. They manage their team, their leadership team. All right. So if you're like me and you hate managing people, you hire one person to manage everyone else, which I'm not there yet, but I will not manage people. I'm terrible at it. So I will manage one person to manage everyone else. I can't manage people. I can manage one person. So you're managing your leadership team and you're making big decisions that affect your business's bottom line. Big decisions, right? Do we add another product line? Do we hire, I think we need to hire some more people. What do you think, CEO? Those are the 2 zone of genius tasks that you're doing, that you're trying to get to, right? So you're trying to get to doing everything, doing too much, to doing those 2 things. And we help you get there, right? So where I was going with that is we don't want you doing more in your business because you feel like you want more money out of your business. We want you doing less and paying yourself more. It's part of being a business owner. You're entitled to that. So do it. Do it responsibly. Profit and cash flow must align with your desired draw and distribution amount. So that's the 3rd piece, right? You can't look at your business and say, oh, there's an extra $100,000 in here. Cool. I'm going to take it out. But oh, wait, we're seasonal. We're going into slow season. So how are we going to pay our bills when there's not the same revenue that was coming in, during tax season, right? So you have to have your cash flow has to align, your cash flow projections and your profit, right? If you're like, I need to take out $10,000 a month, but after tax and debt are paid, you only have $7,000, you're going to find yourself upside down. All right. So profit and cash flow must align with your desired draw and distribution amount. Cool. I don't see any questions, so that's good. There's a number of you on here on the different platforms. So good. High five. So at the bottom of that, it says, if you're a 7-figure business owner struggling to find that work-life balance and pay yourself enough from your business, see if you're a good fit to work with us for fractional CFO services. I suggest you, if this is you, guys, check out that link. Tells you all about our CFO program. There's also a link to schedule a free discovery call with me. There is I want to say 8 to 10 question application. They should be easy questions for you as the business owner. But just to make sure we're aligned and to make sure that we make the most of our time on our discovery call. My calendar is open next week. It might have some openings this week. Definitely open next week. I'm taking 5 new clients this time around. 5 new VIP clients, that's it. The reason we have to limit it is just because our kickoff process is pretty intensive. It's very one-on-one, a lot of meeting with you for that first month. And so I can't take off more than can't bite off more than I can chew. So 5 is where we're capped. So yeah, if you are interested in learning more about our program, please check out at that link. Tomorrow, guys, tomorrow is our last day of this training series. Tomorrow, I am talking about how to survive the current economic event and the next, and the next, and the next. There's always one, and we'll talk about that tomorrow. I have a bonus for you tomorrow. I have a cool workbook to share with you if you join tomorrow, and I have a little surprise to share with you. So feel free to join me tomorrow, same time, same place. Is that it? I think so. All right, you guys, have a fantastic Thursday, and I will hopefully see you tomorrow morning. Bye.